Hi, I'm Mike Regan with Transact's 2-Minute Warning for the week of August 11th. We're back to talking about LTL sourcing events. What do you do when your carrier starts sending back their pricing proposals in response to your RFPs? We've been looking at how your company can conduct world-class LTL sourcing events. So in these 2-minute warnings, we've covered different stages of the actual sourcing event. We've covered benchmarking your data, which carriers get included to receive your RFPs. And in this particular 2-minute warning, we want to take a look at the tools a company will use to evaluate the responses that the carriers are giving you. In other words, what happens when the carriers start flooding your company with their pricing proposals? How do you determine which carrier mix is the best combination for your company? Now, the reason this is so important is because it really comes down to the type of analytical tools your company has access to. Let me walk you through what usually happens. When you've sent out the RFPs, you've typically divided your carrier base into the incumbents and then a couple of other select carriers that you want to include because it may make sense for the overall mix or blend of carriers. So when the carriers start coming back with the pricing proposals, there are two types of scenarios we like to look at. First is what we call the unconstrained. We take everything off the table and ask the what if question. What if we went in and said that the carrier name was irrelevant, that we actually wanted to base the proposals on the actual pricing? In other words, the carrier itself wasn't important. Now, some of you may be saying, well, does that make sense? Because in reality, the carrier is very important, whether it's for the service mix or for whatever reason. We have a list of carriers that we would prefer to do business with. But one of the things we like to do when we run the unconstrained what-if scenario is to level set what we're looking at with this particular LTL sourcing event. So if we took a look at our historical analysis and said that this was going to be $10 million at our base. What we then will do is come in with another analytical tool that says now we're going to have a constrained scenario that says for certain lanes we must use specific carriers. And in doing that, it allows us to come in with an actual cost determination, which we'll go forward to when we start talking about budgeting and what we expect to incur with respect to our LTL cost. Now, this may sound confusing to some of you, so let's make it real simple. At Transact, we have a wealth of information and, more importantly, some powerful tools that we'd love to share with you that allows you to take a look at whatever scenario makes good sense for your company. And if you're interested in learning more about how those tools can be useful to you, give us a call or send us an email here at Transact today. And with each and every 2-minute warning, we're here to remind you, we're on your team, we're here to help, and we're passionate about seeing you be successful. Thanks for your time.